Yo, 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 welcome to Outta Pocket with RG3, hosted by your boy and the lovely, amazing 94-time All-American, Grete Griffin. That's right, people. We got an interesting episode for you today. We're going to talk about Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders, why defenders fear Lamar Jackson more than they fear Tom Brady, the college football double number controversy at USC, the Heisman List, and of course, the importance of men's mental health. So if you are interested in all that, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's right. Move it on over. Click, 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 click. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go follow us on social media and find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Almost lost my breath there. But guess what? You guys have made all this possible, and we can't wait to continue to bring you these great stories and these interesting perspectives. If you want to learn more about football and have fun doing it, go ahead and join our huddle. But let's go ahead and get this bad boy cracking.
Opening drive. Jayden Daniels and the Washington Commanders are having an absolutely terrible year. After coming off of the NFC Championship game appearance last year, this year honestly could not have gone any worse for them so far, and honestly, especially for Jayden Daniels. Injuries have just been an issue. Last year, he played through a broken rib, but this year, he has missed 2 games with a left knee sprain, 1 game with a right hamstring strain, and now he's out indefinitely with a dislocated elbow. So is Jayden Daniels' career going to be shortened by injury?
Nope. I'm a positive thinker, okay? I believe that he will bounce back as long as they give him the proper amount of time to fully heal. And everyone keeps mentioning me on social media, going into all these diatribes about how they're comparing my situation to Jayden Daniels, but they're really not even close to the same.
Okay, but Jayden Daniels' injury literally occurred in the same stadium, on the exact same yard line, both on the second down against the exact same team.
Yeah, that's one hell of a coincidence.
You can't overlook that.
I mean, it's one hell of a coincidence, but you're right, you can't overlook it, and it's kind of like some weird Twilight Zone type of thing happening, but let me tell you why Jayden Daniels' injury and his situation are completely different than mine. I got 3 reasons for you.
All right.
Okay? The organization is in a completely different situation than they were in when I was the quarterback of the Washington Redskins at the time. So, number 1, there's no infighting in this organization. The head coach and the owner aren't fighting about who they want the quarterback to be, how they want the offense to be run, who's supposed to be in charge. And that was something that I didn't know coming into Washington in 2012, that was something that was going on. The organization right now is not built off of toxicity. You're talking about Josh Harris, and I spoke about this when Jayden Daniels was drafted. The fact that he had a new owner, a new head coach, a new GM in Adam Peters, a new offensive coordinator in Cliff Kingsbury, who knows how to work with mobile quarterbacks, I thought that was a benefit, and it made Washington one of the best places to go. Not to mention that they had Scary Terry at wide receiver. They brought in Zach Ertz. They brought in Bobby Wagner. They had all these leadership pieces in place that were not there before, other than Scary Terry, but weren't there to experience the downfall and all of the toxic, backbiting stuff that was going on in DC before they got there. That's the second reason. And number 3, the coach isn't on the hot seat. You see, when a coach is on the hot seat, they make different decisions. Yeah. They know, like,
desperate decisions.
Man, we got to win at all costs. Yeah. We got to figure out a way to make this work no matter what. Yep. So oftentimes, coaches on the hot seat will not do what's in the best interests of the players. Absolutely. They'll do what's in the best interests of themselves. And that is what happened in my situation in Washington. When you're a young quarterback and you come into a situation, how the environment is built around you matters.
Of course.
We won in 2012 in Washington, and that glossed over a lot of issues that were going on. But the second we started to lose in year 2, it became a blame game. Whose fault is this? Whose fault is that? Leaking stories in the media. And that's where I've been most impressed with this new Washington regime. Josh Harris understands that it starts from the top. Yeah. And it trickles down. What I mean by that is you don't see a ton of stories in DC anymore about backbiting or who doesn't like who on what side of the ball or who likes who in the locker room. And to me, that's a testament to how the organization is structured. It's not just, well, they just don't like it. Well, they're losing this year. This might be like from going from the NFC Championship game to what they're at now with their starting quarterback out. This might be one of the worst falls that we've seen from a team going from that high and overperforming, which I think we all agree they overperformed last year, to now performing the way that they are now. And all I hear from the local media is concern for Jayden Daniels. How is this team going to build towards next year? And support of the quarterback. Yeah. And there's one signifying moment that I thought really shined a light on this for me. And it was Dan Quinn's response the day after the game. And the reason it hit me so hard is because when I was in DC, Mike Shanahan's response after the injury was to take responsibility for the injury. But then weeks later, it was leaked stories in the media to NFL insiders about different things that were going on to try to shift the blame. Dan Quinn came out the second day, right after the game, and said, I take full responsibility for leaving Jayden Daniels in the game. I haven't seen an article. I haven't seen a leaked media story. The people covering the team now are way more positive and way more understanding of the totality of the issue than they were when I was in DC. And I think it's because even they don't want Jayden Daniels' story to end up like mine did. And that's why I don't think the stories are the same. I can understand the concern and the injury and how that makes Washington fans have PTSD about what happened in 2012 going into 2013. But Jayden Daniels' story is not like mine. There's so many other factors that go into what made my experience in DC a very unique one for a young kid at 22, 23 years old. But Jayden Daniels isn't experiencing that.
But I guess for a regular fan, it's really easy to not know that or not know the behind the scenes stuff or just kind of take out the fact that it was the organization and all of that and just look at it at face value. Yeah. Hey, this is what happened to RG3. This is what's happening to Jayden. RG3 was rookie of the year. Jayden had an incredible rookie season. This is the second season. Both are injured. Both got hurt. Same game, same yard line, same stadium. Like, it's really easy as a fan to only look at that and be like, it's right here. Right. It looks the same to me.
Yeah, and that to me is why it's so important to know the nuances. And I haven't spoken too much on my time in depth in DC. Even scrapped a book because I didn't feel like it was the right time to have that conversation. Eventually, there will be a time to have that convo. But just know that my situation in DC and Jayden's, outside of the surface level, black quarterback, second pick, Heisman Trophy winner, hurt on the same yard line, same game against the same team.
Oh my God, you guys were the same pick too, huh?
Yeah, it's not the same. Trust me, it's wild. It's like it's Twilight Zone, deja vu-ish stuff, but it's not the same, and it's because of the organization. So I tip my cap to Josh Harris and this team. I think they should sit him out. They should sit Jayden Daniels out for the rest of this year. I know they're going to reevaluate him after the bye week. But if this team isn't playing for a playoff spot or anything that's substantial, they should hold him out for the rest of the year.
Wow. Moving on to Viral Spiral. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens may have a losing record, but now that they are more healthy, no one wants them to make it to the playoffs. Why do you think Lamar Jackson is such a nightmare for the defenses?
Yeah, it's because Lamar Jackson strikes fear into the hearts of his opponents that fans really can't quite fathom. You know, I believe defenders are more afraid of Lamar Jackson than they've ever been afraid of Tom Brady. When Tom Brady and Peyton Manning beat you, let me take you through this. It's because you're wrong, right? You're wrong in your coverage. You're wrong in your assignment. They know where they're the soft spot of the defense is, so they beat you with ball placement. And you're like, oh man, okay, well next time I'm gonna get them back. I can correct my mistakes against those guys. But when Lamar beats you, you could be right and still be wrong because he can attack you from inside the pocket and also outside the pocket. Let me take you even deeper. When it comes to fear for a defender, in the open field, I don't think there's a player that anyone fears more than Lamar Jackson. And it's because he can put you on a highlight reel. Mm-hmm. All right. I think he makes defenders sweat harder than a cat in a dog park. Now, why do I say that? I know that if Lamar Jackson embarrasses me as a defender in the open field, I'm going to be on a highlight for the next 100 years.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Now, Tom Brady might be able to go out there and throw 35 for 43, 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, and I might not even be on the highlight. It might just be the wide open receiver, Julian Edelman, Randy Moss making a play. All right. But when Lamar does it, Lamar can do the same thing. He can go 35 for 43 for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. And then he can also put you in a blender and shake your ankles off and have you be on that same repeating highlight for the next 50 years. That to me is what defenders fear. They don't just fear getting beat. They fear getting embarrassed. And when you talk about that 1-2 that Lamar has, I think his 1-2 rivals that of Allen Iverson.
I'll never forget the spin move he hit in Baltimore in the midfield.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, that's nasty.
I was on the sideline for that game. And as a dual threat guy and a guy that was pretty dynamic in my own right, you know, I'm not very amazed by anything. I was on the sideline and Lamar broke out on the run. And I saw the defender's conversion on him. And my first thought was slide, Lamar, don't get hit. Come on now, be smart. We talked about this in the locker room. We talked about this before the game. Just slide, don't get hit, okay? And this man hit that spin move that you're talking about. Yeah. And my jaw was on the floor. Guys were looking at me left and right like, hey, did you see that?
I think the entire stadium was like, the whole stadium just gasped.
And it wasn't just the spin move. It was the spin move and the fact he scored a touchdown on that play.
Yes.
It was the spin move. A lot of guys you see spin and then they slow down, they lose all their momentum, and they get tackled. Yeah. He hit a spin move that would have made Michael Jackson say, hee hee. How serious? It was such a good spin move, y'all, that
it was.
He kept his speed going almost full speed and then was like high stepping into the end zone. And I sat there on the sideline and I said, yeah, this is one of one. He's the greatest. He is the greatest dual threat quarterback of all time. He's the greatest dual threat quarterback I've ever seen. And for him to make those types of plays, this was 6 years ago? Yeah, that was 2019. Yeah. 2019, he made that play, and we're talking about it like it happened yesterday. Imagine the guys that were involved in that play. They know they're going to be on that highlight reel when he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And that's why, to me, defenders fear Lamar Jackson more than they fear Tom Brady. They know no matter what I do, I can be wrong. With Brady, you can be right. And yeah, he might beat you with ball placement, but he's not going to beat you with ball placement 9 out of 10 times. Peyton Manning's not going to beat you with ball placement 9 out of 10 times. But Lamar Jackson in the open field can embarrass you. Now you got to go home to your wife and kids.
Shut up.
Now you got to go home to your mama and your daddy. That to me is the fear factor that Lamar Jackson brings to the table that I don't think the average fan understands. That is why he's so dynamic. That is why no teams want them to make it to the playoffs, because they know with Lamar, you can be wrong even if you're right. That is a very, very, it's psychological warfare. And Lamar Jackson is always winning.
Viral Spiral number 2, USC and Northwestern's double number controversy. Now, USC's punter, Sam Johnson, who wears number 80, also had their third-string quarterback, Sam Huard, show up in the game wearing number 80.
Yep.
Now, in the second quarter on 4th and 6, they had a 10-yard completion to Tanook Hines for the first down that they tried to fake it off as a punt because everybody thought that the person on the field was Sam Johnson, the punter. But it ended up being Sam Huard. the third string quarterback. So was USC using double numbers to trick the defense Bush League?
Listen, if you're not on USC's team, you think it's Bush League. If you are on USC's teams, you're saying to yourself, Lincoln Riley is the Bill Belichick of college football when it comes to exploiting the rules. Now, this is even more funny, this whole situation, because Sam Huard is the nephew of Brock Huard, who is my play-by-play Jason Benetti's former teammate in the booth. So
you guys called the game.
we called the game. I've never met Sam Huard, but my guy Jason has, and even with his helmet off and the guys congratulating him on the sideline, we didn't realize that it was the third string quarterback. So we go through this whole thing of like, oh my gosh, they tricked them. This is great. The punter, Sam Johnson, should be entering the transfer portal as a quarterback because he's got great form. And then we broke down his form. Talked about how he was taking a good front step. Talked about how he got his hip through on the throw. Talked about how his off arm was in the right position it's supposed to be in when you make this throw. And then how he flicking the wrist. And we went through this whole thing, not knowing that it wasn't Sam Johnson. I even quoted Shakira.
Yeah, you did.
I said, Shakira says the hips don't lie.
You did.
And then we found out that it was Sam Huard. One of the most hilarious situations I've ever been a part of. And to get to the nitty gritty of it, our rules analyst at Fox, Mike Pereira, said that technically it should have been a 15-yard penalty because by the rules, two guys with the same number cannot line up at the same position on the field.
During the same game.
Mm-hmm. Now, the caveat to that is Sam Huard was the first punter on the field. So Sam Johnson coming in later in the game to punt the ball away, technically you could have said that should have been a 15-yard penalty when the new punter, the actual punter, came in the game, and that Sam Huard should have been the punter for the rest of the game, since two players at the same position can't play in the same number at the same position during the same game.
Got it.
So it's an exploitation of the rule. Now, if this had happened in the third quarter, I think Lincoln Riley knew, hey, if this happened in the third quarter, we can't do this, guys. Right? But because it happened in the first punt situation, USC got away with one.
Yeah, they did.
And I saw a lot of reactions online, people saying, oh, this is Bush League, this shouldn't be allowed. And I just say, if you're on USC's team, you love it. Bill Belichick used to exploit the rules all the time. Special teams, offense, defense, everything. And Patriots fans loved it. Everybody else hated it. So Lincoln Riley certainly didn't gain any more fans that didn't like him already. But for his team, they did it by the rules. He was number 80 on the game sheet for that game and had been apparently for the last 3 games.
It's like, it's your fault for not looking it up, for not seeing that we changed his number from number 7 to number 80.
So is it Bush League? I don't think so. Is it against the rule? According to our rules analyst, Mike Pereira, it is against the rules. But USC got away with one.
I love it. Hey, we are about 4 weeks from the Heisman Trophy ceremony. Let's hear our Heisman list for this week. Also, quick question. Do you think a defensive player can win this year?
Yes, I do believe a defensive player can win the Heisman this year. So let's go ahead and throw all 5 of our Heisman lists, actually 6. Okay. 6 of our Heisman list guys on the screen right now. And you asked it, can a defensive player win the Heisman this year? Absolutely yes. Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech. He's number 1 on our Heisman list, guys. And you can be like, oh, come on. How can he win the Heisman? Manti Te'o didn't win it, and he went to Notre Dame. Well, let me tell you why Jacob Rodriguez can win the Heisman. The Heisman isn't just about numbers. But Jacob Rodriguez has the numbers, okay? He's got 88 total tackles, 7 forced fumbles, 5 pass deflections, 2 fumble recoveries, and 3 interceptions. So he's got the numbers. And those numbers rival the numbers of Manti Te'o when Manti Te'o was the runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. But the Heisman is also about being the best player in the country.
Yes.
Right? That's why Travis Hunter won it.
Yes.
That's why Mark Ingram won it. That's why Derrick Henry won it.
That's why Robert Griffin III won it.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Look, it's right here, guys. Right here.
Just love her.
Right here.
So when you talk about it in that way, Is Jacob Rodriguez one of the best players in the country? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
He should be in New York at the Heisman ceremony.
100%.
The other thing about the Heisman is the story. And Jacob Rodriguez's story is so phenomenal, okay?
Finger licking good.
Put that sorbet on it there, baby. His wife is a Army Black Hawk pilot.
Badass.
He was a quarterback at Virginia on scholarship that decided to leave his scholarship and walk on at Texas Tech.
Talk about believing in yourself, because I'm not doing that.
In Lubbock, Texas. And then he's sleeping on his brother's floor.
Yeah.
Okay, for an entire semester, takes out a loan to pay for his books and to pay for his education. And now he's one of the best linebacker in the country, leading the best defense in the country, and has Texas Tech looking at a Big 12 title and a college football playoff berth. You telling me you can't sell that story?
They just blew out BYU.
I mean,
And BYU is the hottest topic in all of college football.
so I can sell that story.
Yeah.
So Jacob Rodriguez is very deserving to be at number 1 on our list for the Heisman Trophy.
Absolutely.
And at number 2, we got to put the man, Fernando Mendoza, at number 2 from Indiana. He just had a Heisman moment too. Jacob Rodriguez had a Heisman moment. Fernando Mendoza had a Heisman moment. You want to talk about a fourth quarter drive, game-winning drive against Penn State? I don't care what Penn State's record is. You know how hard it is to go play there? You know how hard it is to get a win on the road at Penn State when you don't have your number 1 receiver? Your receiver who leads you in touchdowns, Surratt, you don't have him on the field, and you got to go make it happen? And not only that, did you see the catch?
Oh, I saw the catch.
Did you see the catch?
We all saw the catch.
Did you see the catch by Omar Cooper Jr.?
Yep.
I mean, what did we just witness, people? Go watch the video. Let's watch the video, okay? What did we just witness? This man didn't just catch a pass. He performed a gravity-defying ballet act in the back of the end zone. I mean, how did he get his left foot down before his right foot, but then got both feet in, and it would have been good in the NFL just like it would be in college? Because the college you only need 1 foot. He said, look, Ma, 2 feet.
The funny thing is, I was just talking to you about it last week. I was talking about how hard it is to even catch any ball in the NFL, right? But to catch a football with a helmet on, where you can't see half the field, and then while you're catching it, you have to consciously think about the fact that you got to get your feet in. Like, that is way too much. Like, while you're in a high pressure situation and try to think about the fact that, oh, now I caught the ball, but I also have to think about getting my feet in. Like, football players gotta be just some of the best athletes in the world for them to literally think about everything they have to think about and catch the ball with the freaking helmet blocking their vision. Like, I have so much respect for you guys.
No, we appreciate that. We appreciate your respect for us as football players. And it is very difficult. If there was ever a Heisman moment that I've seen, it was that moment right there for Fernando Mendoza and his brother, Omar Cooper Jr., hitting him with that HBO. Help a brother out. Okay, I'm getting hit in the face. I'm going to make this, or I'm going to give you a chance. Can you make the play? And they made the play. Beyond impressed with what I saw from them. Fernando Mendoza jumps up to number 2. I know some people have him at number 1, and I wouldn't fight you if you put him at 1. But I got Jacob Rodriguez and Mendoza 1 and 2, and then we got Julian Sand, quarterback from Ohio State, Ty Simpson, quarterback from Alabama, and Marcel Reed from Texas A&M closing out our list. This Heisman Trophy is coming down to the wire, people. It's going to be an exciting one for weeks. Let's go.
All right. Normally, in this part of the episode, we give you guys a feel-good story of the week. But today, we kind of going to switch things up and want to talk about men's mental health that is probably not taken seriously enough.
Yeah.
We're talking about Marshawn Kneeland, who ended up, unfortunately, taking his own life this past week. And who was a star Cowboys player, you know? Everybody thought he was up-and-coming star. He had just scored a touchdown in his previous game.
Had a block punt, scoop and score for a touchdown.
Yep, and from outside looking in, we always look at athletes and like everybody that you look up to as just super, like they got it all. They must be so happy and they got it all going on. And then we hear news like that. And that makes you think that we're not taking the mental health of the athletes, of the superstars, and especially men seriously enough.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Do you think men's mental health is taken seriously?
I don't. I don't think it's taken seriously enough because in our society, we still have overwhelming majority of men who feel like they don't just have to be tough, but they have to hold it all in. And when you look at athletes, you know, this isn't about gossip. This is about a young man's life who you would think was on top of the world.
Yeah.
Just scored a touchdown, got the star on his helmet, playing for the Dallas Cowboys. And in the blink of an eye, he's gone because he took his own life because there was something going on in his life that wasn't representative of what we saw on that football field.
Yep.
And I saw a number of players come out and put out tweets. And we'll put those tweets on the screen. And they're talking about how fans and how people outside of the sport don't see players as human.
They don't. So true.
They see him as, did you help my team win the game? Did you help me win my bet? Did you help me win my fantasy football league? And players are human too. It's why when DeMar Hamlin got hurt and literally died on the field, they canceled the game.
Yeah.
Because the impact that has on the psyche, the psychological impact that has on a player is immeasurable. So when guys are sitting there and they're saying, hey, I'm not worried about this game or what happened or the fact that you lost your bet or the fact that you have to go to work the next day with pie on your face because your team lost. I'm focused on the fact that my brother just died.
Yeah.
A guy that I bled and sweated with and told stories with and have life experiences with and have tried to accomplish a common goal together with is gone. And I think for athletes, for the fans out there who watch these games, understand that the athletes are human. They are people. They're just not objects for your entertainment. And I know we are entertainers.
Yeah.
Our job is to entertain and to try to make your day brighter by winning football games. But what's going on in between someone's ears and what is happening in their life never shows up on that field. And Marshawn Kneeland was the perfect example of that. How can a guy who you thought would be on top of the world do what happened to him in evading the police and taking his own life in a porta potty?
Yeah. Nobody, and I do mean nobody, deserves to die alone in a porta potty while texting or calling their loved ones goodbye. Like, this is such a heartbreaking situation, and I do feel that men's mental health should be taken so much more seriously, and men should not be looked at as it always needs to be tough and always needs to be strong and always needs to just hold it all in because otherwise you are soft.
Yeah.
Like, that needs to go because things like this happen, and athletes and celebrities and superstars and whatever you want to call them need to be looked at as real humans. So the nasty social media comments of go kill yourself after the games and all of that, like, you can't, that absolutely just needs to go. It needs to stop because like, these are real human beings with real lives. They are not just here on this earth for your entertainment.
Right.
That's their job. Outside of their job, they're human beings and they don't deserve to be treated like that. So
Yeah.
I truly hope, like, in a crazy world that we live in today, that men will be taken more seriously and more when they talk about their trauma or open up about their mental health, that people will actually care.
A lot of players feel like you love my talent, but you don't want to hear about my trauma.
Yeah.
And to me, that speaks volumes because when men do become vulnerable, a lot of times in our society today, they call them simps or they call them soft. Oh, he's crying. Why's he crying for? Listen, man, real men cry.
Yep.
Real men are not afraid to show their emotion and share their stories, but it's the reaction to those stories when they don't win the bet for you or they don't win the game for you. And now all of a sudden they're just a meme. They're just another means to your entertainment. And listen, the NFL is a business, right? It's built on strength, violence, and control. But off the field, a lot of players are dealing with depression, anxiety, CTE, the trauma from their childhood, injuries that changed not only their life, but maybe their brain chemistry.
Yeah.
Pressure from their family, money, stress, the fear of not having what they have right now. At any moment, it could all be gone. And you say to yourself, well, what makes them any different than what every human being on the face of the earth is dealing with. And my answer to you is, that's exactly the point.
Exactly.
They're just like you.
Exactly. I don't know. That's just such a horrible tragedy that didn't have to go that way, you know. And I like I said, I truly hope that if you need help, ask for help.
Yes. And we prayers up for Marshawn Kneeland, his family, everybody that's impacted by this. As Grete said, if you need help, ask for help. If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Hell, we'll set up a line if you need to talk to us just about what you're going through, because in this life, you gotta be able to have the hard conversations with people about what is going on in your life and not feel like you're being judged for it. So to all the players out there, to all the people out there who are watching this, just understand that your life is worth living. And no matter what you are going through, it's never time to give up. The people who don't quit, the people who don't give up are the ones who find success. And no matter what you are going through, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You don't have to run away from that. Run towards the light. Run towards talking to people about the issues that you're going through, because this situation is so illuminating, not just for players, but for everybody. Yeah. So that is our show for today. We just want to say thank you guys for sharing this time with us. We hope you learn more about football. You learn more about the things that are really going on in the league and the things that are really going on in the mindset of players. Men's mental health is serious. We love you guys. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you go watch any of our previous interviews, whether it be about Lamar Jackson, about Jayden Daniels, our previous interview talking to Jacob Rodriguez and Baron Morton from Texas Tech that went live last week. We thank you guys for supporting us. As we said, we love you. We'll see you guys next time. We appreciate you for joining our huddle. Peace out.